Okay. All right, we'll call to order at 6 o'clock. And can we have a roll call, please?
Shawnarana.
Here.
Itzman.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Maselli.
Here.
Holster.
Here.
Wolf.
Here.
And Tracy.
Here. Can I ask everyone to please stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Recognition of visitors. Do we have anyone signed up?
We got one.
Okay.
All right, I will read the public meeting audience norms and I will call you up. All cell phones should be silenced. Refrain from talking or applauding during discussion during the meeting. If you'd like to address the board at the meeting, you may complete the citizens' comment form prior to the meeting. You'll have 3 minutes to address the board. These 3 minutes cannot be transferred to another petitioner to speak in your place. Please state the purpose for addressing the board at the beginning of your statement, and there will be no responses from the board during this time. And I apologize if I mess up your last name, Stephanie Kovacic?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. If you would like to step up, you can speak, or there is fine too, either way.
Oh, okay. Well, I think maybe my voice will carry better this way. Well, I'm just here to address the parents of the school and the grandparents in Homer Glen School District. I have been enlightened about the power we have as parents. We have the right to ask for books, planning lessons, curriculum being used in the coming year to teach our children, to meet with the principal, the teacher, the assigned teacher to our children for the coming year, to discuss and see what is going to be taught to our children and the curriculum for the coming year. We have the power to ask the school to sit in a classroom all day, if we choose to observe all day, the teacher and children as they interact with each other. We may ask questions at the end of the day of the teacher. You know, there have been questions about the health classes, for instance, a few years ago, the sexuality being taught to kindergartens. That is a question we may want to present and ask, has anything changed? Have you considered stopping that practice? And I'm just grateful for this privilege to observe, to see, to examine the books that we teach our children, to sit in the classroom where our children are being taught. I think every parent should take advantage of the power and the right to check up on our children. And I just want to go on record as saying that because I know this is recorded, and if anybody listens to the board meeting, they may take this tip and move on it. Thank you.
Okay, and no one else? All right. We'll move on to item 4, the consent agenda. Over to you, Craig.
So tonight's consent agenda is a little different than usual. It doesn't have Al's treasurer report just because it's a special meeting. The entire purpose of the consent agenda is just to finalize staffing for the 25-26 school year.
Okay. Any questions or comments from any members of the board on the consent agenda? Okay. All right. Hearing none, we are seeking a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Shawnarana.
Yes.
Itzman.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Maselli.
Yes.
Holster.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
And Tracy.
Yes. All right, item 5, old business. I don't think we have any old business to discuss. Item 6, new business.
This correction is due to the change in benefits to the new position that Mr. Zaralis will be in.
Any questions from any members of the board? Okay, hearing none. On item 6A, we are seeking a motion and a second to approve the proposed salary adjustment for Greg Zarellis, Director of Transportation, for the 25-26 school year with a base salary of $132,748.
So moved. Second.
And a roll call, please.
Fitzman,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Maselli,
Yes.
Bolster,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Shonderana.
Yes.
And Tracy.
Yes. All right. Hal.
All right. I can make this better. Okay, hopefully that's readable enough. Get rid of these on the side. I think it would be better than that. It might get a little better. All right, good evening, everybody. Al Purkis, Assistant Superintendent for Business. I just wanted to first explain why we're doing this. This is a special meeting, and I don't usually do this at the special meeting, but there's a legal requirement that we have to have at least 30 days between my presenting a tentative budget to the board and the board approving the final budget. And the way the board meetings fell this year, if we waited till the end meeting in August, I wouldn't have had 30 days between that and the September meeting to do this. So I have to present the tentative budget to the board now so that we can have it on display for the public to come and view if they wish in that time. We also are going to be publishing an ad in the paper, letting people know it's available. That all happens, and that all has to also be out for 30 days. So I presented a draft tentative budget back to the board, I want to say about 4 months ago, 4 months ago. And this basically just shows the changes between the draft tentative budget and then what we're now calling the tentative budget. And then eventually this will become the final budget, and then I'll give you the same thing, the changes between the tentative budget and the final budget, so you have that information. The changes are not all that significant when we look at operating expenditures. And essentially what's been happening is I've been tweaking the budget, right? I've gotten more information as we go on. I know more accurately what our revenues are going to be and more accurately what our expenditures are going to be. So I'm constantly tweaking it, trying to get it dialed in as close as possible. So the big numbers to look at here would be this number here for the draft tentative budget. The expected gain loss from operations was $5,300,000, okay? So that's taking all the capital improvements out of the conversation and just the way the district runs. So we would have been at a $5,300,000 surplus when I presented it a few months ago. The changes that I've made, which have been extensive actually across all accounts in the budget, have changed that to about $5,500,000. So it's a little bit higher of a surplus than what we had before, but overall the change isn't all that large between the two budgets, the previous one and the current one. The one thing that did change significantly, though, is what we were looking at in terms of capital expenditures. Here we had $14.9 million at that time, and here we're down to 14 million basically when you take out 14.8 to 14 when you take out the contingencies out of there. So that went down a significant amount as we were tweaking the capital projects for the year. That's also why when we did the transfers last month, they were lower than what I initially had projected, because we didn't need as much transferred into capital projects to continue and finish everything out that we have in the pipeline right now. The other thing that's important to mention is so how the overall fund balance has changed, right? So previously, when you included capital projects, we were looking at a $9.5 million loss. And now we're looking at an $8.4 million loss. So it's because there's a little bit more of a surplus and a little bit less in capital projects essentially that make up that difference. So the overall fund balances are obviously going to come down, and that's what the bottom section here is. So how the fund balances look, these are our starting balances. So at the beginning of this fiscal year, so July 1st, we would have had $45.9 million in the bank across all of the accounts. And we're expecting, because of the $8.5 million loss, we're looking to end up with about $37.5 million rounded at the end of the year.
So that's the overall budget piece. The other piece that I have to go over when I'm talking about the tentative budget is there's a law that was passed about 3 years ago, I think, that requires us to disclose our fund balances, our cash balances, and any debt that we have. So that's what this bottom section here is, just so that everybody's clear. So the fund balances as of 6/30 or 7/1, however you want to look at it, are what I just said, the $45.9 million. That's what we started the year with. Now, these are unaudited. The audit is actually in progress right now, so there could be a slight adjustment to these, but it wouldn't be significant, I wouldn't expect. And the cash balances are 46.1, so it's a little bit higher than the fund balance because there is uncleared checks essentially and some liabilities that we have on hand in terms of cash. So for instance, the money that we have, the parents put in Pushcoin, that's not our money, but it's cash, so we have more cash than we actually have, it's our money, if that makes sense. The last piece of this I'll point out is the debt down here at the bottom. So as of 6/30, or 7/1, again, however you want to look at it, we still have outstanding $4.265 million worth of debt on the debt certificates that were issued in 2018. So that was a $10 million issue, so more than half of those are paid down. Of that, the remaining interest payments to finish those out are about $276,000. So all in all, we're looking at $4.5 million of still outstanding debt. Oftentimes you won't include the interest in that conversation. Why did that pop up there? Oh, it's on this computer. Only because the assumption is that you could pay off the debt early and then you wouldn't have to make the interest payments, but unfortunately, the way our debt is configured, there's no option to pay it off early, so no matter what, we're gonna be making those interest payments, so it's not even doable. So just to put it in perspective, if we took our fund balance at the beginning of the year on the same day, and let's say we were to pay off all of our debt early somehow, including the interest and everything, our fund balance at the beginning of this year would have been about $41.4 million. So that kind of sums up the big picture in terms of the district as it sits on the 30th, and then what we're looking at going into next year with approximately that $8.4 million loss across all the funds. And again, that's because of the projects that we're doing. That's the capital improvements that are doing that. Are there any questions?
I just want to clarify, you said that we're not able to pay off the debt early?
Right, when we
Is
issue.
that normal, or is that, I don't?
So it's
Time of issuance, you have to decide how you structure it, you know.
correct.
If we had that, would that mean it would have been more expensive, or?
Well, to issue the bonds that were the debt certificates in the beginning, you would have paid more if you would have gotten an option to actually pay it
Okay,
off early.
okay, that answers my question, thank you.
Yeah, there's no winning that battle.
Okay. No, I was just wanted to clarify, that's all.
That's a good question. So Al, for capital projects, obviously we know we have the conclusion of the large project, and that's continuing on the budget, on this budget. Do you have, what other significant projects do you have in the tentative budget for next year that will hit the books on this budget?
So I can share with the board the entire capital projects list that will show you exactly where that number comes from. I don't have it handy here,
Okay,
but I'd be
that's
happy to
fine.
do that. I'll just-
I know we've looked at it before in like some long-term projections, but now we're getting more refined, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we're constantly refining that list as well, and it's possible, depending on how the year plays out, that we might not do everything on that list as well. Because quite honestly, coming into the next year and then the following year, our fund balances in the middle of the year are gonna go lower than they have in a long, long time. And again, it's because of all the capital improvement work we're doing, so we're skirting it down at the bottom, and I think we'll be okay long term,
Right.
because, I mean, we run those numbers, but depending on what we still need to do, it
Right.
could get pretty tight.
Right, okay,
Okay?
perfect. Any other questions for Al?
And then this will be all put on display. We'll have a printed copy on display at the counter back here on the 15th. The ad will go in the paper, it's hitting on the 15th so that the public is notified. And we'll also put the tentative budget on the website for anybody who wants to view it there as well.
Okay. All right, on item 6C, correct?
The recommendation is to increase our sub custodial rate, it's currently $15.25 to $16 to bring it up to market and hopefully entice more subs, custodial subs for the district.
Are we short?
Yes.
for the new section or just in general?
These are subs.
Oh, the subs, oh, the
right,
subs,
We just need
okay.
a deeper pool.
What do we usually have as a pool for subs?
Usually 5 days, pretty good, but then even then, we're
Okay.
scrambling to cover sometimes.
And when those go unfilled, would the staff have to either try to cover that or just
Stay
rotate?
late
Yeah,
and, work overtime to do it, and then the day crew will also come in and do it.
A minimal clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna call it trash and dash, minimal clean sounds much better.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, I know.
we make sure all the bathrooms are cleaned every evening.
yeah, all the
and such,
critical stuff,
yeah.
but they aren't able to do the detail,
right,
nice
right,
clean that
and
they
the
always try
Klexner,
to do.
yeah. It's
Okay.
pretty standard.
They do a fantastic job, by the way.
Yes,
Our
they do.
schools are so clean. I have been to many, and I can tell you, without a doubt, our schools are extraordinarily clean. Okay, any questions on item 6C? Hearing none, we are seeking a motion and a second to approve the adjustment to substitute custodian rate to $16 per hour.
So moved.
Second?
And a roll call, please.
Martin?
Yes.
Maselli?
Yes.
Oster?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes.
Shonda? Yes. Hitzman?
Yes.
And Tracy?
Yes. Okay, item 6D, purchasing approvals. Craig and Al, you want to comment?
I was just gonna say, these are all sped or related, basically contract employees, one type or another. One special ed SI teacher, 2 paraprofessionals, paraprofessional full-time substitutes, and then 1 RBT for the school year.
So Mike actually shared the positions last meeting. We still are short on paraprofessionals, which is a reason we need to contract the one out. And then the board approved, I believe 3 or 4 years ago, some permanent sub-para positions so that, we can fill those, get people out. And we haven't been able to fill those the last few years, so we needed to make this recommendation to have subs on board so that we're covered during the day.
Is it more critical this year than it has been in the past as far as paras?
Critical.
Number-wise?
Number-wise, yeah?
Total number of paras?
No,
or
I'm just saying we're short, so are we short?
Like getting.
Oh, are we more short?
More
Oh,
short
I see
than,
what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Is it more,
the-
more short to me,
But
critical?
we're in a better condition as a result of the relationship with Delta T, our new staffing agency.
Did you hear that? So this past year, we also worked with a staffing agency to help sub when we were short, so like I said, we were
I
better.
know, but we'd like
we
to
just
have
had-
our own paras.
Sure, and the nice thing about the
And we're not-
staffing, we just had 3 interviews today. The nice
Okay.
thing about the staffing agencies is after X number of months, it's less than a year, you can hire those individuals from this agency, which we've already done.
Okay.
So this RBT that's going to be a special education teacher, we could hire her as a special education teacher?
Not from these, not from
RBT is
these. This
different.
Not,
is a different.
but what, that's my question, because she's hired as an RBT,
She's a-
not as a special education teacher, once she gets her degree as a special ed teacher, could we hire her?
Sure.
Because it's a different role.
That would be, who's that from? That's Blazer Works, so we have a non-compete with them,
So
and
we
it would
cannot.
take, I think, 2 years before we could hire her.
Oh, I didn't realize you were talking
But
about
for the same
contracted.
position, but that's what I'm asking, if it's for a different position.
I guess we'd have to tease that one out, I don't know.
Yeah, that's-
She'd have to break contract with Blazer Works.
Okay.
So these, I'm gonna assume, which is usually the case for all of the positions here, even if, it's unlikely, but even if we were to be able to find a permanent staff member, these contracts are for 1 year, no matter what. You just answered that.
The
Not with Delta
RBT,
T, oh.
Yeah, with the 3 here,
Mhm.
yeah, so there's, once you hire them,
We're
you have to
getting married.
contract them for the whole year.
For a year.
So when you, as a matter of practice, Mike, on these positions, like the SI teacher, for example, will we take that posting down once it's staffed with a contractual person, and then if we need to refill this, do we reopen it for the anticipation of next school year, or do we leave these?
Not always. It depends on the terms in which the contract agency, a lot of times we'll leave them up just to generate interest and then have a
Yeah.
conversation with someone. Because, if someone inquires 3-4 months into the school year, we can say, well, we're hiring you for next year if you're interested. And
Right.
Yeah, that makes
Now, I
sense.
think I prefer that approach, right? Okay.
Usually our lunchroom monitor positions are open, posted all year, para positions,
Very
custodial,
professional.
yes.
Transportation.
Bus drivers.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask one clarifying question? Professional full-time substitutes. Does that mean we're expecting them to be in our buildings, or they just means we're paying for it, we can call them when we need them?
No, so they'll work every day,
Okay,
and we'll place them accordingly. They'll be amongst the first ones that we place.
Got it.
They're essentially hired on as a full-time individual for a district, and you're gonna be here every day. We don't know where, but you'll be here every day.
got it, okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, items.
You know what, I do have one.
Almost.
Well, I just was curious, they're paraprofessionals, but if they are licensed substitute teachers, are we allowed to move them into a teacher role for the day?
That's a good
Sure.
question.
And not have to pay a difference to Blaze Works, because we're already paying?
We would have to tease that out. I don't think that's actually specifically explained in the contract. We'd have to figure that one out.
Only because I know we get a
I'm
copy.
sure it would be a different rate.
Well, because I know sometimes with our paras that are certified, we're able to move them, so I was just curious if that,
Can you move a contract?
can you move a contract person?
Yeah. I'm sure we could, but I'm sure it wouldn't be for free.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's a good question too. Okay. Any other questions? For real this time? Okay. All right, on item 6D, we are seeking a motion and a second to authorize contracting a 1.0 FTE LBS 1 special education teacher, contracting 2 1.0 FTE paraprofessional full-time substitutes, and 1.0 FTE registered behavior technician in the estimated total of $267,386.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
I'm sorry, who's second? Thank you. Maselli?
Yes.
Olster?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes.
Chanarana?
Yes.
Hitzman?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
And Tracy?
Yes. Okay, all right, go ahead, Greg.
Just for me, this is an MOU that I've presented to the board, basically changing our PLT and SLT stipend positions to per meeting rates.
I think we discussed this at a previous meeting, but does anyone have questions?
This keeps it the same if they attend every meeting, it's just like a per diem rather than a
Correct.
Correct. Right. Previously, you just, it's a flat stipend. Now it's based on participation at individual meetings. Okay. Item 6E, we are seeking a motion and a second to approve the MOU between Homer Community Consolidated School District 33C and the Homer District 33C Council of the American Federation of Teachers Local 604 to update Appendix B-3 of the 2024 to 2027 Collective Bargaining Agreement.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Olster?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes.
Chanarana?
Yes.
Hitzman?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Maselli?
Yes.
And Tracy?
Yes. All right, anyone have any future board meeting agenda items to discuss? Not at this time. Not at this time.
I just have two.
You wanna throw some ones out here? All right, Craig,
Um,
we're always all ears.
I think I forwarded, and you guys are on the ISB emails. They sent out their workshop, their board workshop list for the year. I've been reviewing those at the August meeting. I will come back and with some ideas and get some feedback from you guys if you're interested in the workshop. It would be, we'd schedule a special meeting to do that. Probably sometime in the fall if the board's interested. We haven't done one probably in about 2 years, I think.
Previous, prior to the last election, I think, yeah. I think it'd be beneficial. We caught some new board members, and there's some good ones. The ISB has been doing this a while. We've had them out here before. I think it's time well spent. They're not very expensive, and I believe we should have a special discount coming too, hopefully. It'd be a really good, no-cost discount.
Yes.
Okay.
And then other, as up for the board, is Aaron and Chris are the board reps for the committee, the facilities committee. Of course, I should have written this down. is meeting the first week of September, I think it's that Wednesday, second,
Yeah.
September 2nd. And then we'll, it's an open meeting we'll have here at district office, I believe at 4 o'clock on the 2nd. I have some presentation to do. I certainly will share all that information with the entire board in an email, and then we'll come back to the board and keep the board updated on where the progress is with that committee.
Okay. All right. We'll move to item 8 for closed session. I think the extraordinarily brief. But I have to read this, it'll probably take longer to read this than the meeting. On item 8, we are seeking a motion and a second to go into closed session for discussion of 1, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. 2, discussion of collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. 3, litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court of administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. 5, ILCS 120/2, subsection C, chapter 11, or section 11. Oh, we do. I'll do that right after this. Let's do, we need a motion and a second for that, item 8, and then I'll do this announcement.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call.
Wolf,
Yes.
Shinerama,
Yes.
Hitzman,
Yes.
Martin,
Yep.
Maselli.
Yes.
Oster,
Yes.
and Tracy.
Yes, okay, and before we adjourn, this is a really good call out. We are gonna be hosting the grand opening for the new facility next door. That's gonna be Wednesday, August 20th, 5:45. We're gonna do a brief ribbon cutting ceremony, and then we'll have tours open to the community from 6 to 7 p.m. And it's looking great. I'm sure it's gonna be beautiful when it's done. It's almost done. But hopefully we see some folks out there. It's something for our community to be proud of for sure. We should have no items coming out of no action coming out of closed session tonight. So on item 9, we are seeking a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we are adjourned at 6:28.
Motion second.